Okay, I'm live streaming, guys.
Should we talk?
You should do the opposite.
Huh?
You should do the opposite.
Why? How do you have the filter thing?
Okay, hello, welcome back, traders. How's everyone doing? So, I'm gonna go ahead and start the live stream. Just getting settled in here. Just gonna hang out with you guys today, do some back testing, answer some questions. So, got any questions? Make sure you let me know in the chat, and hopefully I'll see it and get back to you guys. First of all, before we get started, thank you so much for all of you who have subscribed and liked my videos. I'm getting very close to 500 subscribers. Hopefully we can make that happen, hopefully during this live stream. But I don't know if I should do something special. I mean, 500 seems like a pretty nice milestone. I don't know if it is like a special milestone, or do I have to wait for like 1,000 or something. But I don't know, maybe next live stream I'll do like a Ask Me Anything kind of live stream or something. I don't know. Let me know what you guys want to see. Should I even do anything special? But yeah, get started. On the screen you can see I have the Thinkorswim pulled up on demand mode. Now I actually recorded the video for the week of the April 28th. So I already recorded the non-farm payroll week, and I'll be posting that soon. So I'm actually going to go ahead and jump ahead. We're going to back test the May 6th through the 10th today. Right now I have it set on May 3rd, end of day. Just taking a look at the daily chart. This is the micro NASDAQ. And just going to get a higher time frame bias here. So we've traded back into this daily SIBI. Now I'm looking for, I want to keep my eye on the SIBI and see if we're going to stay in the lower half, or if we're going to start trading above it and start using it as support, as inversion. If that does happen, then I will be looking for the buy side above this high first, and of course all-time high after that. But if we do start to reject, and I guess I want to keep an eye on 50% of this down candle. I'm using this as a order block. If we can start going below, if we get a daily close below here, below the mean threshold, then I think it's likely we're going to be coming back down for the sell side below this low, first of all. And if we can get acceleration, go down for this daily low. And of course, if I zoom out, you know, I'm looking for that daily void that we haven't traded back into yet. So that's kind of what I'm going with this week. A little 50-50, kind of neutral. You can see between the high and the low, we're in the middle of the range. So Not exactly sure what I'm looking for, but hopefully Monday and Tuesday will give me enough clues so I'll know what to do on Wednesday and Thursday. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. I'm going to go to Monday and I'm going to go to 8 o'clock in the morning. I like to go with 8:16. I'm sure you've seen that a lot in my videos. This is because I want to make sure that the 8:15 5-minute candle is done forming. Anyways, let's see. I'm gonna go ahead and pause it, and let's go ahead and just look at, this is the 1 hour for 5 days. I'm looking for this fair value gap right here. I want to keep my eye on this, and I'm gonna change this up just so I don't lose track. But I'm gonna make it a solid line just to remember that this was a mean threshold. So on the 1 hour chart, intermediate time frame, what am I looking at? I see this big BISI right here. I'm actually just going to highlight the portion that did not get filled in. And we'll make this green, I suppose. And then let's go ahead. I see relative highs here on the 1 hour. That could be a buy side target. So like if we come down, take out this sell side, the swing low, and I'm going down to the 15-minute. Maybe there's something, maybe not. Pretty flat. So you can see that this low right here around 1:30 in the morning or so did come and take out this swing low. We may not get this, but if we do, and then if we start seeing some displacement to the upside, I'll be looking for these relative equal highs. Now on the downside, we could go for these relative highs first, and then we start coming down and we start heading for this imbalance. So still a little 50-50, not exactly sure. Gonna wait probably after the 9:30 bell. So go down to the 5-minute time frame and we're just gonna start walking through it. Okay, so we see so far 8 o'clock, we went ahead and took out the buy side, those relative equal highs. To be expected, you know, honestly, because it was so close to it anyways. Now I want to see displacement below this low. I'm just going to draw this out just as a reminder. I want to see displacement for this low, and then if we can get a confirmation, or if we just get a pretty big SIBI, then we could try going for this low. Although on the way, we have this swing low here, and of course, we have a 5-minute fair value gap. That could also be a nice target as well. So just going to keep on stepping through 9:30. I want to see displacement lower. I think I'm going to go for a confirmation short if we do get confirmation. But right now, it's just kind of consolidating. And here we go with 9:30. Pretty wicked movement. You can see it's kind of indecisive. Long wick to the downside. I'm going to go ahead and just keep an eye on 50% of this wick. And I'm going to get rid of this line. I know it went ahead and took the buy side, went to 50% on the daily fair value gap. So right now I'm looking for displacement to the downside. We may not get any trades today. It is Monday. Monday can be a little bit poor on the setups. I'll say it that way. So far, not really seeing anything right now. It's pretty much just a lot of chop. What I'm looking for is I want to look for inefficiencies. So hopefully the volume in the video is okay. Let me know in the chat if we have problems with the audio or the video. Now, I just realized that on these backtesting sessions, I could use some music or something, but I'm not exactly sure what the rules are. Like, how can I play, music on YouTube live streams? If you got any advice, please let me know in the comments or in the chat how I can play music without like breaking any copyright rules or anything. Okay, so we got another sweep of the buy side. It's kind of getting close to my 12:15 stop. And I'll explain that in just a second here as we go to 12:15. Did not really see anything I like. So yeah, today was pretty much a dud. And we are going to the upper half of that daily fair value gap. So that could be a clue that we may get bullish in the near future as long as it stays in the upper half on that daily fair value gap. So what do I mean by that 1215? Well, if you have been following me, I do have a backtesting guide video, and in that video, I give you an example model on what to do for backtesting. And I'm kind of trying to follow that model as closely as possible. And one of the things that I'm looking for is a time window from, I think it was like 8 o'clock in the morning to 12:15. 12:15 is my cutoff point. I definitely will not be entering any trades after 12:15 because that is during the New York lunchtime. So that's what I mean. We are getting close to 12:15. There wasn't any setup, so not going to be taking any trades. Not trading the afternoon session. The model only calls for the AM session because one of the things I emphasize is your time window. Not everybody can trade 24 hours a day. Actually, you should not. I mean, you need to prioritize your own health. You got other things to do, other things outside the charts that you need to get to. And you need to schedule out a certain time period where you're going to be sitting in front of the charts and taking a look. And for me, that model was going to be 8 o'clock to 12:15. So that is the time window I am back testing. Anyways, I do have that video on my YouTube channel. I think I'll have it in the description in this live stream as well once it's over, linking you to the part 1 of that guide. So let's go ahead and check out the end of the day action. And we'll go to 5 o'clock in the afternoon just to see kind of what price looked like. So we did chop around the upper half. You can see it used 50% of that fair value gap on the daily as support, and we started moving above. We are currently trading above the daily fair value gap. So I think going into the next day, I may get bullish. As long as we can still remain above this fair value gap on the daily, I think going for the upside is the way to go. And I'm just going to go ahead, check out the daily chart before we move on. You can see that we closed above this fair value gap. Could be aiming for there. Now, another thing I want to point out is 50% of this up candle, this order block. If we close above this, that's definitely confirmation that I think we can go for the buy side. And this could be a good place to take partials as well. And just before we move on to the next, I'm going to go down to the 4 hours just to take a look at what it looks like. We are coming into this inefficiency, so we could see a big drop in price. But I think because we are still above the fair value gap here, I'm going to lean towards the bullish side, at least for now. Let's go see what happens tomorrow on the 1 hour time frame. So going on to Tuesday the 7th, starting at 8:16 in the morning. All right, so in the morning, you can see we're pretty much consolidating at the high of that daily fair value gap. So I think that is a pretty good sign that we may be getting bullish. Don't really see any inefficiencies. You know, this sideways action did pretty much trade this fair value gap. And below here, there's not any inefficiencies. So I don't really expect price to go down into this fair value gap any longer. Maybe we can get something on the 15-minute. So 15-minute, yeah, not much. Now, I'm going to keep an eye on this low, of course, but back here, we did take the sell side already on this low. So I'm going to keep in mind that pre-market, we already took sell side, could start seeing some displacement to the upside. And we have relative equal highs, perfect flat area for me to target. And of course, we have a swing high here with a fair value gap. Definitely a nice place to take partials. So let's go down to the 5-minute and let's walk it through. So check out what 8:30 does. Like I said, you know, I'm not really using the economic calendar, but I know that certain times that certain news will come out. 8:30, 10 o'clock. And you can see at 8:45 here, we have pretty big displacement to the upside. So we took out sell side down here. Then we had this fair value gap. We came back, confirmed it. And I think as long as we don't take out the buy side this high just yet, I think any retracement, I'm wanting to take it. If I take either of these fair value gaps, my risk will be down here. And assuming this closes here, that will be the my long entry, and it's not even that bad, only 20 points. I'll have to refer to the spreadsheet, but I think there's gonna be like maybe 3 or 4 contracts. So let's go ahead. Hopefully we don't take out this high just yet. Okay, we do take it out, but you can see that we did wick down into it. I would like to take this as an entry. We did go into this fair value gap, so I think it's a tough decision here. We did get confirmation, so here we'll go ahead and take it. And let me just refer to the spreadsheet on how many contracts I can actually take. Just give me 1 second here. How's everyone doing, by the way? Have you guys been doing your back testing? Are you keeping track of your data? So I certainly have, as you can see, and I'm going to hide it from you guys just for this live stream because not like I have anything to hide. It's just that I have not put out the non-farm payroll week, so I didn't want, to show you guys any trades or anything. I mean, it's not like anything super secret, but anyways, today's date is 5/7/2024. If I take a long, let's see what the price is. 18,180 with the risk at 18,160.25. So with that amount of risk, I can actually take only 2 contracts. But if we start, okay, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to enter 2 contracts here at this price. Of course, the stop is down here. Change it to pink. And I'll tell you what, if we come back down into, let's say, the middle of this fair value gap, I believe I will have enough risk to take one more and get me still underneath 1%. So if we hit that, I will take one more contract. That's going to be 15 points. So I think that should be pretty close to 1% risk. So that's what we are going to do. I'm going to be aiming for these relative highs up here. So let's go ahead and walk it through. I'm hoping 9:30 opening bell. Okay, well, 2 contracts already hit the target. So yep, there it is right there. Go up to the 1 hour. There's not really a higher time frame target that I'm aiming for. I mean, I had planned to take the entire trade off over there and pretty much done. Now there is this high that's close to the order block being threshold. I think I'm gonna wait for 9:30. If we can get another good setup at 9:30, there's potentially another trade. But right now, just entered here, took it off there. It's about, I think it's about 101. Let's go ahead and just enter it in the spreadsheet, and 18201.75. Yeah, just a little bit better than 101, so not that bad. I'm going to look through the rest of the day's action since it's still not the 9:30 opening bell. There could be a potential another trade. Technically, I'm not supposed to make more than 1 trade per day with this model. However, how I'm looking at it is it's not even the opening bell yet. So there could be more to this day, and just this quick 1-on-1 win pre-market kind of gives you a buffer. So if you do take a loss later on during the day, you'll pretty much be break even. So anyways, the buy side has been taken. Now I'm expecting price to maybe come back down and take the sell side, perhaps go and retest 50% of that daily fair value gap. So let's go ahead and see what 9:30 has to bring. Hey, welcome, NDU Trades. Just noticed your comment. What software are you using? This is Thinkorswim. So it used to belong to TD Ameritrade, but now they merged with Charles Schwab. So it does belong to Charles Schwab. This is Thinkorswim. You do have to have a real money account. So I have a real money account in order to get this on-demand feature. And basically, it's like market replay. It's like the TradingView market replay. But you don't have to pay any extra. I don't pay any monthly fees or anything to use the software. So that's the benefit of Thinkorswim. All right, so 9:30, we just got a rally back up. If I'm going to get into another trade, it has to come back down, at least to this inefficiency, and then maybe show me another confirmation. Or if we sweep the low and then we start developing another setup. So here we go. We did take a recent swing low, but I think it can go lower. Okay, so we did come back down. This is what I'm looking at here. I'm seeing this low, high, lower low, taking out some sell side. And then once we go above it, this is kind of like an order block, or not order block, a bullish breaker. And here, let me just go ahead and draw it out for you guys. I'm looking at these series of up candles, and if I go ahead and extend this forward, you can see that we came down into the bullish breaker. And if this fair value gap remains intact, I could take another long here with my risk down here. So let's just draw it out. This is what I'm thinking. I'm going to get rid of this line. It's a little distracting. So if I have the risk down here, and if this fair value gap remain intact, I will take a trade up here. Since I already have a win today, I'm not going to go ahead and do full risk. I'll just do a 0.5% of risk. And then first partial up here, of course, if I have more contracts, I'll see how high I can hold for the higher time frame idea. Okay, so see that fair value gap did remain intact, so I went ahead and took this trade here. I entered long, but it pretty much immediately stopped me out here. This was about 20 points of risk, but remember, I'm only going in on 0.5% risk. So that earlier win did help out buffering this loss. Let's see. Let me do the spreadsheet and I'll let you guys know what the risk was here. Risk at 18.9, 191.25. So for 0.5%, I can only take one contract before I go over 0.5%. So that was a total loss of 21 points, or 22 points rounded up. So still up on the day, but did take this loss. Now I'm going to have to wait for a confirmation entry here. But I'm still going to keep my eye out. Because we have this move up and move down, I think we're going to be heading lower, at least to this imbalance back into the breaker, but probably taking out the sell side. So let's just go ahead and walk it through. It's coming back into the SIBI. I'm expecting it to respect it and displace lower. Okay, so notice how I was expecting it to go lower, but it did not. So now I can turn my attention back to the upside. So you can kind of view this as we went down and then we came back up for a change in the state of delivery. I got my eye on this fair value gap right here. I'm thinking this is going to be the one I try to enter on. There is another one potentially, but I'm going to go ahead and shoot for this. Now, I took a loss earlier, so this is only going to be 0.5% risk. Again, my entry is going to be here with the risk at the low of that fair value gap. Eden, yes, I did do a review on the latest 2025 lecture. I think he did a Venom model. He introduced his Venom model. I did that one. That was a nice one. And then he had a really, really short one this morning. So it was like only 7 minutes. So, you know, check that one out. It's only going to be like 5 or 6 minutes. Not very much in it, but yeah, you know, just a very short, brief one. All right, so let's go ahead and step this through. I know the buy side did get taken. I may just like do a projection, aim for a projection. Now, I did come back into a fair value gap. That could be all that we need. I mean, it's already at -2 standard deviation after this swing. But I'll enter if we go lower. If we start displacing up higher from here, I'm not really going to be interested because the risk is just not there. So with this, I think only one contract here. So let's go ahead and see if it can come take me in. I kind of feel like it won't, but maybe it will. As long as this high doesn't get taken. If this high gets taken, this one right here, then I would not be interested in a long anymore. That's kind of what I'm using to gauge my interest. So okay, so we did take the high because you can look at here. We took the buy side here, came back up, we took the buy side as it was going above this high, created another swing high, and we took the buy side once again. So we took the buy side like 3 times already. Could be a 3 drives pattern, and we may head lower. So I'm going to go ahead and cancel this trade. Just going to give it some more time, see what... Oh, I just noticed it's actually 12:15. So my time window should be up anyway. So I'm done for today. 1 win, 1 loss. But remember, my loss was only 0.5% risk, so I am up on the day. Just going to clean the chart up a little bit, and then let's take a look at the rest of the day's action, and then we'll head over to the next day. So one thing I will share with you guys, okay, so after lunch, we did drop down in the afternoon and pretty much consolidated at equilibrium. So another like nothing burger day, but notice that we are still above the fair value gap on the daily chart. I'm not going to go to the daily chart. I'm just going to go into the 4 hours to kind of show you guys. But remember, this was a daily civvy. And even though we are kind of in the middle day, we're still above this daily civvy. So going into the next day, going to still be bullish. And I will be aiming for this swing high here. You can see there was a fair value gap. And if we can get some momentum to the upside, looking for these relative highs. So those are going to be my targets going into the next day. And let's go into the 1 hour chart and go into May 8th, 8 o'clock in the morning. So like I was saying, my trading's been doing pretty good. I mean, it could have been like a lucky month, but last month in March had a really, really nice month. I think it's all thanks to backtesting, because it was like, 3 or 4 weeks or so where I was really on it with the backtesting. I pushed out a bunch of backtesting videos for you guys, and I really think it helped with the trading. So I definitely encourage you guys to do some backtesting. I think it could definitely help you with your trading. So taking a look at the hourly chart, we went back into that daily fair value gap, took out the sell side here. Just going to mark it out just to remember that we took out the sell side. Now, as long as price stay in the upper half of the civvy and we start displacing up, I'll be interested in taking longs. Otherwise, I'm going to have to keep an eye on what it wants to do while it's inside its daily civvy. Not interested in any shorts right now until we start trading below it. But there's also this little swing low that we could go for, which is like right below 50% of that fair value gap. And this high here, this would be a change in the state delivery. Going to make it yellow. And go to the 15th. Well, this will be the first partial up here if we start going upwards. But let me take a look at the 15-minute, and then we'll start walking through on the 5. So currently we're displacing lower. I'm looking for a sharp reversal. Relative highs up here. This is where the buy side would be. And let's go into the 5-minute. Now I'm looking for 8:30 or 9:30 to give us some kind of reversal. And actually, I'm going to move this change in the state of delivery, because on the 5-minute, I see that we have a significant swing high here. This was the start of all this run downwards. We are at 50% of that daily civvy. Okay, camera's a little blurry. Sorry, guys. Let me see if we can. Don't know what happened there. So NDU trades, if you're still in the chat, what software are you using to backtest? All right, so you can see that we reached the 50% of that fair value gap, then we chopped around a little bit, but stayed above it. Touched it one last time, and now we are kind of displacing upward. No fair value gaps just yet. Going to have to keep an eye on what it's going to do when we come back up into this 5-minute civvy. Okay, it is past 9:30. What I want to see happen is I want to see price go above this SIBI, use it as inversion, meaning I want to see its supporting price and displacing higher still. And then on the second fair value gap above here, I think I can try to take that one for a long, aiming for those relative highs as my first partial. Okay, as you can see, we displaced, and we'll see how this candle closes. I want to see it close above, maybe come back down a little bit to use it as support. Okay, so we do have a fair value gap here. There is a change in the state of delivery. You know, it could come back down here, but I'm going to bet that we use this as inversion, right? So I'm going to have my risk. I'm going to go ahead and try to shoot for a trade here. I'm going to go ahead and have my risk down here. It is below the fair value gap. And I'll take it. I'll take it here. Although I think it could come down even more, but you know, like go back into the SIBI, use it as inversion. So if this was a real trade, I may wait to see if it was going to come and touch the high of that SIBI. I'm betting it's going to, but since I'm backtesting, the rules are I'm going to have to just enter here at the top high of the fair value gap. Basically just aiming for low hanging fruits. First partial up here, and then if we go to the 1 hour, I believe, yes, second partial will be up there. So first partial, second partial, I think I can get 2 contracts. Let me just, before we start moving ahead, let me just pull up the spreadsheet. 5/8/2024. Going long with my entry at 18,146. Stop loss at 18,111. That is only good enough for 1 contract, but if we come back into this fair value gap here, somewhere close to that price, if we hit that price, I think I can enter another one. Let me pull up the calculator real quick to see what the average will be. So this is another thing you guys can do if you want like an entry, but then like a better priced entry. So you take your first one, 18,146. Add it to the second one, 18,130, we'll call it 138.50, right? Divide by 2. So that gives you your average price. And then using that average price, subtract your risk. So that would be your average risk on 2 contracts, let's say. So times 2, that's going to be 62 points. And if I have 62 points of risk, I don't know, it'll be kind of close to 1. I don't really have the math correct on my, actually, you know what? Yeah, I just use 18,142.25 as my entry and see what it is. Okay, it'd be very, very close to 1%, a little bit over, but I think it's doable. I'll just go ahead and take 2 contract, 1 here at the low hanging fruit. And if it comes back into the SIBI, I'll take 1 more. That's what I'm going to go ahead and do. So let's go ahead and start walking through it, see what actually happens. It's going to get rid of this yellow lines that changes the state of the delivery. Now, it may not come down for me. If it doesn't come down for me, then I'll look for the next confirmation or the next fair value gap as confirmation. Okay, so you can see here, we are respecting that previous sell side. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to leave these here just in case this fair value gap does not form, but I think it is going to, and I'll have my risk down here. I'm only going to enter here if this fair value gap remains intact. Okay. And this is not even 1-to-1, so it's not like really great, but I know it is going to be 1-to-1 for that second target. It's actually quite a lot on the risk. Maybe I'll go ahead and take this at 50% of this fair value gap at the consequent encroachment. So somewhere here, if we get up here, that will be about 30 points of risk. FX replay. I've heard of FX replay before. I'll have to check it out. Does it, when you play it forward? Does it like, you know, make the candles move up and down as like, you know, kind of like real live price action? But yeah, I'll definitely check it out. Thank you, Eden. So let's go ahead and step through it. Okay, so this fair value gap did remain intact. I don't really want to take that, you know, because it's not really one-to-one, but I guess I will. I'm looking for these relative highs to get taken. And then what I'm going to do is actually, when this high get taken, I'm going to trail it to break even, but I'm going to aim for those highs. And what I'm going to do here is to just take one contract. My risk is below the pink line, and I'm going to get rid of this so you guys aren't confused about where I am entering. Price level. All right, so I'm entered here at 193.50. Stop loss here at 154, so about 40 points. Quite a lot, actually, so only enough risk to take one contract. And let me just update my spreadsheet. Okay. One contract, about 0.7% risk on the balance. And then once it reaches up above the buy side here, I'm going to move it to break even. Okay, so here, putting it break even, I'm going to go ahead and put it below this green candle here. So now my stop, I'm at least break even. There's no way I can lose on the trade. And we'll make this orange line. But I'm looking for this 267 to take my trade off. So let's go ahead and walk it through a little bit more. And I'll try to have 3 PD arrays of protection. I'm expecting price to respect both of these fair value gaps, because here's a fair value gap, and then this order block here. I'm going to zoom in a little bit more. Hopefully you guys can see. So you can see fair value gap, Let me take off this. That's fair value gap, order block. So I don't want, I mean, you can even like, you know, have your stop up here at 18,201. Yeah, why not? Let's go ahead and move it up. That way we get a little bit more profit. So I do not want these 3 PD arrays traded through, and I'm aiming for 267. Oh, getting close, but it did not trade through just yet. Could get stopped out. I don't mind if it does. Okay, we did get stopped out. See, taking partial, that's why you will always want to take partials. Taking partials up here would have been nice, would have gotten an extra 16 or 15 points or so. But I was looking for price to come up here. Now, it is coming back into this fair value gap, and it could definitely respect it, or it could even come and retrace down here. If I go ahead and draw a fib going from the morning low to the high, it could come back down to optimal trade entry, which is where we had our original high set on anyways. But it's 11:15, getting kind of close to my time limit. So let me just update my spreadsheet real quick. And I took it off at 18,201. So kind of break even. This is like a 0.2 R. Take off these and we'll walk it through, but I don't expect to make another trade today on the back testing. Yeah, I'll definitely check out the FX replay. If I like it, I may start going into the future. Maybe the second half of this year, I'll back test using that. But I'm pretty comfortable with my think or swim right now. All right, so getting close to lunch here, and I think just going to consolidate here at equilibrium. But as you can see, we return back into the top of that daily fair value gap. I think going into the next day, going to still remain bullish. We haven't really done too much, actually. Let's go into the 1 hour. So you can see pretty much just consolidation here. We respected the daily fair value gap. I'm looking for tomorrow to take out this high. And if we can take out this high, I'm expecting this to be power of 3, right? Accumulation, manipulation here, and then I want to see expansion above this high, and reach for those relative highs on the daily, but it doesn't have to get there. I'll be happy if we can just get above this high at 18,351. But hopefully we don't do too much by the end of the day. Let's just take a quick look on the 5-minute. And yeah, pretty much just consolidated for the rest of the day. So I'm going to go ahead and hop straight into the next day, May 9th, 8 o'clock in the morning. And of course, I'm going to start off with the 1 hour. How long will you be backtesting your model / strategy? I plan to backtest the entire year of 2024. How long is it actually going to take me to backtest and record it? I'm not sure, because I am, doing the ICT lectures. I got my market outlook on the weekends. I may do like a trade review every now and then, but I'm going to try and push out those backtesting videos and test all of 2024. Then I want to do a video just kind of giving you guys my results. Maybe I'll, do like a half of the year results or something, and just let you guys know what is my strike rate, what is the the strike rate is winning percentage, what is the expected value on these trades, and yeah, just kind of share with you guys what I found out. So going into, what is it, Thursday? We're pretty much consolidating at the high of that daily fair value gap. And yeah, still looking for that high to get taken, but we could get a sweep maybe below this low. I don't really want to see it come below this one, because this was at 50% of the daily fair value gap. I want to see this hold up, because that could show me that we are going to be supporting on a higher time frame. It could come below this low. That's fine for me. I'm going to go into the 15-minute time frame, see if there's anything. Now, I'm actually okay right here, because you can see we had this big, well, these two large fair value gaps. So I guess on the 1 hour it may look even bigger, but we came back, we touched this higher fair value gap. Then we came back lower into this lower fair value gap. And when it did come down to sweep the sell side. So I'm looking at this as a sell side sweep. And then we bounced up with a fair value gap. Here we came back down. We are respecting this fair value gap. We created another one. So I don't actually want this low to get taken. We do have relative equal highs-ish here. But I'm going to mark out this one. I think this one, when you line it up with this fair value gap to the left, I think we can get there. So I'm going to go down to a lower time frame. I don't really want this to get taken, although it could. We could come down here one more time, but I think I'm going to wait for 8:30. If we get fair value gap here off of this respect, I'm going to go ahead and try to take the very first one. So this is a potential fair value gap here. If I have my risk down here with this, man, that is only a 17-point risk. Definitely could take nice size on here, maybe 3-4 contracts. So that is where I'm going to go ahead and shoot for on my first trade today on Thursday. Now, I'm only taking this trade if this fair value gap remains intact, this one right here. Because you can see we went up above all these up candles as well, so there is a change in the state of delivery. So definitely going to do that. And then let's see if we get entered here. It didn't take us. Did not take us, because the fair value gap closed down here. And it never came back down. So this was a missed trade. It left without me. Well, let's take a look at what it has done. We went above these highs. Did not go above this one yet. I think as long as it didn't go above this one, I could come back and take the next fair value gap. Meaning this one right here. So if I can move my entry up, and I want to move my risk up as well, I will take this fair value gap. It looks like about 1-to-1, and it's a 22 points of risk. So I think I could definitely take at least 2 contracts here. If this fair value gap remains intact, I will enter. I don't want to see this high get taken before I enter, so we'll see. Okay, so it did poke above a little bit, but that I think that should be okay. It's not gonna be like it's not gonna change my mind if it just pokes above it a little bit like that. So I have my entry down here. And let me take a look at the risk. Today is May 9th, 2024. Long and enter long at 1875.25. Risk at 18153.25. 2 contracts. Can I do 3? No. 3 will put me above 1%. It'll put me at 1.17. I'm going to stick with the rules and just go with 2 contracts. And that will give me about 0.8% risk on the balance. And hopefully I won't get stopped out here. Oh, so close to taking me. I don't like how we, went above these up candles right here. So it may not come back and take me. If we take out this high, I'm going to cancel this trade. See if we can find something later on in the day. It's not even 9:30 yet. Eden, how long have you been trading and how hard has your journey been? Ah, great question. Probably the question every trader gets asked, right? So I have been trading, I'll do a separate video kind of going over like the start of my journey, but pretty much, 2020, man, what was it? 2020, 2022. I think it was 2022. When I started trading, I was trading penny stocks. I was trading penny stocks. I didn't really know anything besides breakout strategy. I started following, Tim Sykes and what's his name? Steven Dutz, that crowd, the penny stocking crowd, but did not really find much success. And then eventually I found out about ICT. I started studying his stuff back in 2023, I would say. In August 20, I don't remember. It was 2022 or 2023. I started studying ICT. I've been studying ICT for like 2 years, 2.5 years now or something. I watched like pretty much every single one of his videos. Not every single one, but most of them, And I feel like after about 3 years of trading now, I feel like I am there getting very, very close to being consistent. So everybody has a different timeline on their journey. It may take you a much shorter time. It may take you much longer time, So everyone has their own timeline. I think for me, I'll get there within the next year. I think I will be consistent within the next year. I will be a profitable trader. We'll see. We'll see. And how hard has it been? It has been, I don't know. I know for a lot of people it's been really hard. It has been pretty hard. I have been really impatient. There's been struggle times where I thought I was there, but then I have like a losing streak. And then I get back on a winning streak. So it's been a little topsy-turvy, but the main thing is you want to have low risk. I have very, very, very small risk because the important part is the process. The important part is getting consistent with the process. So unless you're there, unless you can prove to yourself that you have a positive expected value, there's no point in risking large amounts of money. So I have very, very small. You can see I'm trading micros. Just like ICT said, you want to trade micros until you can get there, and you want to slowly increase that size. So that's kind of what I'm doing. Don't have like huge amounts of losers. So that has really helped me in focusing on the process. Good point, Eden. It may have missed because of the volume imbalance. That could have been an entry, but I didn't really use that for the backtesting model. My backtesting model was basically entering on the fair value gap. So we'll see. We'll see. We could get another pullback and another confirmation. That see, like this one, you could try entering on this one too, but I think I want to wait to see if we can respect this fair value gap first. I mean, we just took the buy side, so I want to see some kind of pullback. We could even like come and take sell side. So just waiting to see a reversal here. See, like this fair value gap, I said you could take it, right? But don't want to do that. You want to see if this fair value gap gets respected. Definitely did not. Okay, so let's just go ahead and keep walking through. And I think the sell side can get taken. Just going to go into a higher time frame. So the sell side could get taken. I don't really want to see this. Remember, I don't want to see this get taken. But if we sweep this and we start going up, that could be a sign to go for this high and go for that high. It could be another day where we pretty much just go sideways. We take the buy side, we take the sell side, and then we just consolidate in the middle. Also aware that could happen. Okay, so you can see we created relative equal lows. We could be coming down for these relative equal lows. But if we come back down and we start getting a fair value gap to the upside, like confirming basically, I don't know, I could considering taking a long, aiming for the high here. I'm not really looking for shorts because higher time frame, remember, you got to remember the higher time frame. We are in the upper half of this daily SIBI. I want to see it used as inversion. We saw it once before at 50%. So here, I want to see this fair value gap respected. I want to see this fair value gap respected, create another fair value gap, trade above these down candles for another change in the state of delivery. If we get a fair value gap here without taking out this high, I will enter in that fair value gap. Okay, so we do have one. It's kind of small, but I want to see price at least wick up above the opening price on this down candle. Just like that. Okay, so zooming in here, we have a potential fair value gap. Remember, this candle is not done closing. This is the 1035 candle. We're at 1036. But if this fair value gap does end up remaining intact, I will take an entry here with my risk down here, shooting for the first partial, potentially this high. But if we zoom out, since we already used this high to take out buy side, I kind of want to see price go above here and aim for this buy side here. I know I have a bunch of lines, but ignore this one. Gonna get rid of that. And this, I believe this was the stop loss, the risk, and this is my entry, potential entry, if the fair value gap remains intact. Okay, gosh. See, one of the things I hate is if we take the buy side before coming down for my entry. A lot of times this happens where it'll just take the buy side. I'll think I'll have a good entry, but it just comes down for these relative equal lows. So because the buy side did get taken, I'm not thrilled to take this entry anymore. I kind of want to wait to see if we come down and we create another fair value gap. I want to see another respect. Otherwise, it could just come down for these relative equal lows. So another sign is we did take the high, but we're kind of just hanging around. We haven't really like displaced up. I mean, it could start heading for that, and I think I may just miss it. Okay, it is consolidating above here. This is always the kind of thing that gets me. I'm kind of confused with this, right? Are we like turtle souping where it takes buy side and hangs out here just to accumulate short positions, or is it kind of like stopping here for a little bit and then going to expand up another again? So just gonna wait. I think if we just if my target gets hit and I miss it, I miss it. All right, back into this inefficiency. Now, if this inefficiency is respected and I see a fair value gap and a confirmation, I'll enter on the second fair value gap. I didn't like how we took out the buy side. What I'm kind of expecting is price to come up to maybe this SIBI here, close to the old high, and then we're going to drop down lower, aiming for these relative equal lows. So could go for a short, but my time window is pretty much done. I'm going to go to the end of the day. I mean, I'm done. My target didn't get hit. This came a little too late. I'm going to go ahead and take a look at what the rest of the day looks like and probably just move on to the next day. So you can see pretty much choppy. In the lunchtime, we kind of just consolidated near the highs. It's really flirting with that high. So looking at the higher time frame, I'm thinking we're creating relative equal highs. I want to see tomorrow open up somewhere here, right close to the high of that daily SIBI, and then that will give us a setup for these highs. Also, there are relative lows down here. We could sweep that before going for the highs. I don't know. Gonna have to just take a look at Friday. It is going to be the last day of this week. See what we get. And we took out those highs. Remember, the higher time frame, I do have higher targets. Let's go to the 4-hour. Remember, we have a fair value gap here on the 4-hour. Relative equal highs. This is going to be a nice long-term target. This is pretty much my first partial. We are respecting this fair value gap here on the daily. I'm even going to go ahead and get rid of this. Don't really need it. So still bullish. Going to go down to the 15-minute time frame, see if we find a setup. And this fair value gap here, we have traded down into it. These lows are looking a little smooth. Just going to go ahead and line something up here. I'm not exactly sure what to say here because we did come down into these inefficiencies. Maybe on the 1-hour looks, well, this is what I'm going to do. On the 1-hour, I'll mark it out like this. Now, I'm not saying this is going to be support for sure. We can definitely come down below it, aiming for these relative equal lows, and then start going up. But because of this 1-hour, and we're getting kind of close to our target anyways. If we do find support here, I won't be hesitant to take the fair value gap. As long as we don't take out this buy side. Okay, so looking at the 5-minute, you can kind of see a 3 drives pattern. Sweep of the lows, sweep of the lows, sweep of the lows, sweep of the lows, 4 times already into this fair value gap. Kind of already creating a fair value gap here. But not sure I want to take that. I want to wait for a confirmation. It's also before 8:30. So here we go. We did get a little consolidation. We did go up. So this low right here, and we create a fair value gap above this high here. Okay. So as long as we don't take out this high, excuse me, as long as we don't take out this high and we come back down, I could enter into this fair value gap if this fair value gap remains intact with my entry here, and I can put my stop at the low of this down candle. This will be the low of the order block. And since it's still before 8:30, if this does happen, I'll enter, but I'll do it with half of the normal risk. So 283 to 294. Wow, only 10 handles. Maybe I could take 2 contracts. But first of all, let's see if this fair value gap remains intact or if we're going to sweep those lows once again. Okay. So you can see price did go above this high. It created this fair value gap, but it did go above this high. So as long as we took out the high, I'm not entering in this trade. Would have gotten stopped out, but the rule is I'm not taking this trade if it takes out the high. I want that high to remain intact because now, since the high got taken, I think we come down and take out the sell side once more. Maybe go back into this inefficiency. So I'm just going to go ahead and walk it through a little bit longer. You can see we went down for the sell side. Now, these highs are kind of equal, but I'm looking at this high. And going back to the 15-minute, we may be coming down for this low or these relative lows, but as long as we don't go below this order block and we start seeing a fair value gap and then confirmation, I can go ahead and give that a shot. Remember, I'm still bullish. Looking at the higher time frame, we are so close to this high, definitely can take that out. That will be the first partial. And then if we can ride it up there, I will. but I think that's going to be a pretty big ask. So we came back down. It is right before 9:30. So just taking a look at what has happened. We dropped back down, take out the sell side, went back into these fair value gaps. Okay. So as long as this low didn't get taken out, we created a fair value gap to the upside. We went down into it, and looks like we have a very small fair value gap potentially here as well. But it's coming back into the SIBI. We could drive down one more time at 9:30. It's just going to wait. Remember, when you're trading, you want to wait. This would have been a good entry, I guess, but if it was coming down, honestly, I wouldn't know what to do with it. It could just be like, you know, it could poke into it and then starts driving down below here. So want to wait for this candle to close. It did. We went ahead, had a change in the state of delivery, created a shift in the market structure. This is a pretty big fair value gap. If this finished closing, like let's say here at 291, I don't know, maybe the risk would be down here or maybe on the second candle. Not quite sure. Let's just say we have a conservative risk below here. This is 256 to 291. It's going to be 35 points. Definitely doable. Definitely doable. 25 points, aiming for that high. That looks to be about maybe 1.5 to 1 or maybe 2 to 1 reward to risk. So gonna go ahead and give it a shot. Maybe just one contract. But I want to see this fair value gap remain intact. Okay, so here we go. We have an entry here. Now it's going higher. I don't really like that, but as long as we don't take out that high, we have a potential entry here. If it was a real trade, maybe I'll go into the 1 minute and, you know, see if there's anything I can like try and take on the 1 minute, but want to see it come back down. I also have to keep my eye on 50% of this wick. This wick was pretty long, so it could just come tap into 50% and start leaving. All right, awesome. Got my entry. Did not take out the high. Let's see on the spreadsheet what that would be. Okay, I'll show you guys a spreadsheet. We are coming up to the end of the day. I'll just kind of scroll down a little bit so you don't see anything. 5, 10, 24. Long entry. So let's say we have 18 to 91.5. Risk at 18, 56.50. And if you're wondering what like all my formulas are, I went over pretty much most of it in the backtesting guide. I think part 2. Don't remember, but check out that backtesting guide. I have my formulas on my spreadsheet. So with one contract, you can see is at 62%. If I take 2, I go over that 1% limit. So can't take more than 1. And then, yeah, my target is here at 18,351. Now, hopefully, I'll find something soon to pretty much get my stop to break even. Because we could create relative equal highs and then start going for lows. Remember, this purple line is a mean threshold on the daily fair value or the daily order block. Looks like I may get stopped out, guys. Look like I may get stopped out. And this may be the Judas swing. This is the Judas swing coming for the sell side down here. Okay, so went ahead. Let's record this loss right here. And, oh, I forgot to record that one. Ah, shoot. Okay, I'll go back and record that one. I forgot what it was. But we got stopped out here at 18.56.5. Oh, gosh. Don't remember what this was. Was this a stop out? I'll have to look back. I'm going to assume this was me getting stopped out. Honestly, I don't remember. I should have recorded it. And that's one thing you guys got to do is record it right away if your trade's done. Otherwise, you're going to forget. Luckily, I have it recorded so I can go back and watch it. All right, so now what I'm looking at is I'm looking for the sell side. This will be my sell side target. If it gives me an opportunity to go in, I will go ahead and try to take it. But if it just runs for it and it runs for it, I'm done. So, yep, just goes for it. So, unfortunate, but stuck to my higher time frame bias. I think pretty much going to be done for the day. Let's just take a look at the higher time frame and probably just close this out. So we went to the mean threshold of that daily order block and we came back down. Looking at the week, we started here, pretty much just consolidated the whole time. Low of the week on Wednesday, and then we rallied up, but didn't take the buy side, which is pretty annoying. And now it looks like we are coming back down to, well, equilibrium. Could be one of those weeks where it doesn't do that much. I think we may just close at equilibrium. If it starts going down, we do have those relative lows back on Thursday. This would be the next sell side target. And if you look on the 15-minute, maybe this low right here will be the next sell side target. Also at the high of that daily fair value gap. So I'm going to go ahead and walk it through. Got about 1 more hour left on today. We went back into this fair value gap. Are we going to respect it? I think we could. I mean, I think I could even take a short here, honestly. Because it looks like we may be going for that target. Let's do a quick projection. If it lines up, then I'll give it a shot. Maybe another loss on the day. So you can see one standard deviation right there. That looks right. It looks really good. Let's go ahead and try it, I suppose. Could be another loss, but we'll try it. Here we go. Risk down here. Let's say I entered down short this time on the low of this fair value gap. Whoops, my entry should be teal. And the stop is pink. $27 points. Now remember, the second trade is only going to be 0.5%. So I'm going to pull this back up. Okay, so I'm going short. And let's see, we're entering short at 18,222.75. 18,249 and half is the risk. And you can see with one contract, 0.5% risk. That is my risk management. The opening range. Eden's asking about, do I use the opening range in my strategy? Not really. No. I mean, I know I'm aware of it. I do wait for the open range sometime. In my real trading, I'll use maybe the first fair value gap. I'll keep an eye on the opening range, maybe use it for projection or something. But no, not really. I may incorporate it into my trading in the future, but for the back testing, there's no opening range at all right now because you don't want to put too much in your model, right? When you're back testing, you want to kind of keep it simple and isolated. That way you can see if one concept works or not. And if it does work, you can try to add another concept in there. But I think it'll be best to start off with if you just have as little as possible in your model. All right, so let's go ahead and just walk this through maybe for another hour and then try to end it. So like I said, I got a feeling this, I don't know. Don't really have a good feeling because this is going against the higher time frame bias, but taking a shot here, got my target here. I only have one contract, but if we go below this low, gonna move my stop to break even. Gosh, very annoying how price went down here to the order block on this wick. Okay, let me see if I can stretch it out a little bit. You can see this wick here. We went down to the order block, or the I said order block. I meant rejection block, right? The opening price on this candle, we went to the rejection block and we rejected. So very annoying. Not really liking it, but whatever. If I get stopped out, it's only half of the normal risk size. It's getting close to 12.15. Now at 12.15, I always have the option to just say I'm done, closing it out. Not really in profit. I'm just going to let it go a little bit longer, see if we can get like something over lunch. If I get stopped out, I'm stopped out. If it comes and hit my target, sure. I'm actually going to move the partial down to this low. Okay, I'm not going to be like ambitious and going for that low. Just going to go for the day's low. If we can get that, then that's good enough. But I'm half expecting this to get stopped out here. And here we go. Went ahead and got stopped out. This rejection block, that was where it went to find support. And then we went ahead and took out the morning. It looks like we're going to go above this high, right? This is going to be the morning, like where all the stop losses are going to be. Like anyone that took shorts, they're going to have their stop loss here. So over lunch, they'll probably come and run these stops and then maybe head lower in the PM session. And let's go ahead and just look at the end of the action and then probably just close out the stream. So get your last minute questions in. Pretty much, yep, went for the stops above this high and that was it. Just consolidated after that. Went to take out the stops at 2 o'clock, which is pretty much the opening range on the PM session. So yep, that is... Oh, let me, before I eliminate that, let me remember to add in my exit here. Got stopped out, so that is what the spreadsheet is looking like. Remember, I started off with a balance of 10,000, 10 money, of course, and still up 10%. Doing okay. We're in the middle of May, getting into the summer months. And still have over half a year left of back testing. So we'll see how this strategy goes. But thanks guys for joining me, hanging out with me, giving me the questions so I don't feel so lonely. But yeah, hopefully we'll have another live stream next week. I'll put out some more back testing videos. If you haven't checked out my market outlook, check that out. Pretty interesting on the latest ICT lecture. He also have his market outlook or his market analysis. Maybe, maybe not. It lines up with mine. Anyways, thank you guys so much. And I guess I'll see you guys next time. Until next time, safe trading.